I'm going to start by talking us through a short guided meditation, and it's going to be a meditation on the breath. And this is one of the commonly used Buddhist meditations. So it's called the mindfulness of breathing. And this particular one, we do it in 4 parts. So I'll guide you through each part. But the first place we begin is by having a comfortable setup for sitting. So sit yourself so that your hip to your bottom are just slightly higher than your knees. So if you're quite mobile, then just a bolster might be enough. If you're a little stiffer in the hips, you might need to sit up considerably higher. But it's worth taking the time to set yourself up comfortably in order that your thighs can release down and that your pelvis is at an angle that your spine can be upright. So if you sit too low, then you can end up slumping back, or if you sit too high, again, you arch the back forward. So you want to find a place where the spine feels neutral but upright, and the legs feel like they can release down. From there, gently roll the shoulder back. So from that place of the spine feeling like it's upright, thighs can release down, then the shoulders roll gently back, so there's a soft broadening of the chest. And the hands can either rest on the thighs or in the lap, whichever feels most comfortable for you. And then allow the eyes to close. And with the eyes closed, find which part of the body or parts of the body feel easeful, feel relaxed. And then working from that place of relaxation, of ease. Allow the face to relax, allow the shoulders to slide down the back, away from the ears. So there's a quality of balancing the alert quality, the upright quality in the spine, and a relaxed, softening aspect to the posture. So the first stage of the mindfulness of breathing, we'll use counting, and you'll place a number at the end of your out breath. So you'll breathe in, you'll breathe out, you'll count 1. Breathe in, breathe out, count 2. And so on until you get up to 10. Often the case is you get distracted before you get to 10. So if your mind wanders off part way through, you just gently bring your attention back to the breath and you start off counting from where you think you left off roughly. And if you get to 10, then you start back at 1. As you use the counting, there's no need to try and control the breath. In fact, your job is to just observe the breathing process, trying not to make any effort to change the breath. When you find that the mind has wandered away, there's a nice analogy of the mind being like a puppy that you're training. So sometimes our natural instinct is to be very harsh with ourselves, be irritable with ourselves. But that's a tendency that you have to try and drop when you're practicing meditation. So when the mind wanders away, very gently, very patiently, again and again, you just softly bring the attention back to the breath, back to the count. Don't allow yourself to get frustrated when the mind wanders off. Just patiently bring the mind back. So moving now into the second stage of the mindfulness of breathing. Stick with the counting, but you're going to change the position of the number. So the number you'll now place at the very moment that you start inhaling. Just gently placing a number at the very start of the in-breath. Notice if it feels any different between when you're placing the number at the end of the out-breath and now that you're placing the number at the start of the in-breath. So for the third stage, allow yourself to let go of the counting, but keeping the attention with the breath. Now allow your attention to take in the whole movement of the breath. So feel all the parts of the body that move with the breath simultaneously. So at the same time you're aware of the movement of the belly, the rib cage, front, back, sides. You're aware of the movement in the lower back, movement up around the collarbones, and then even subtler movements. You might feel that the shoulders rise and fall slightly with the breath. You might feel a slight rocking motion in the pelvis. So you try to let yourself be aware of the full movement of the breath in the body. And then finally, moving into the fourth, the final stage of the meditation. Now you'll narrow your awareness. So staying with the awareness of the breath. But notice if you can feel the breath in the area of skin above the upper lip, below the nostrils. So if you can feel the breath passing over this area of skin, or if you can feel the breath somewhere inside the nostrils, then place all your attention on that area where you feel the touch of the breath passing over the skin. If you're not aware of the breath in either of those places, then find somewhere else in the body where you're aware of the movement of the breath but not the place where the movement is the most obvious. So just one place where the movement of the breath is more subtle, and then place the attention there. When you're ready, keeping the eyes closed, allow yourself to let go of any effort to focus on the breath. Let the forehead soften, let the shoulders soften. And slightly bow the head. And then very slowly open the eyes. And gently raise the head up.